everyone, it's time to combat the source video of the e-drama between me, Oz, Thunderfoot and all the other YouTubers who are against social justice, and Jenny McDermott and her army of white knights such as this guy, Bewildered Ape.
You know you're full of shit when your message is about as convincing as this guy's.
I'm deeply disturbed that some of the remarks that I've made on Twitter have apparently, to my horror, been used to assault women in America with threats of rape and goodness knows what else, because of a misunderstanding of something that I've said. And I mean, that is truly appalling, and I have spoken out against that.
So, what are you suggesting, Bewildered Ape? That Thunderfoot has somehow miscontextualised and misrepresented what Richard Dawkins has said in regards to women on the internet and stuff he said in order to harass people? The deuce you say? Oh my eye, oh my ears, Hopefully I end there. Let's hope.
You know, there aren't many things that humans find more horrifying than terminal cancer.
You and me both, my Australian cousin. Oh, is that a voice program that you're using? But I'm going to assume you're Australian. Strange. An Australian chimpanzee. I didn't think they had monkeys and gorillas, etc. in Australia. I thought they had stuff that kills you, like spiders.
Which means there aren't many things you can lie about to gain sympathy and money than terminal cancer.
What are you suggesting?
A woman says she is sorry for deceiving so many about her little girl and the cancer the child never had.
Well, she told friends and family she was dying of cancer, but it was all a lie, a scam to get cash.
Michael Guglielmucci, for 2 years, deceived not only his church, but his wife and family, making them all believe he was dying of cancer.
Nowadays, she said she was dying of cancer. She shared heartbreaking stories and photos of her struggle while taking donations from a very generous community. But it turns out her story was a lie.
You're texting your daughter that you have cervical cancer.
It's a flat-out lie.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I lied for attention.
Oh my God.
That's a lie.
Now, I don't know what these disparate news stories could possibly have to do with Thunderfoot at the beginning and Richard Dawkins, and I just don't know what you're insinuating, Mr. Ape. I mean, if I were like Sherlock Holmes, I would say that you were accusing Thunderfoot of lying about cancer. I mean, just because a minority of people have done it for attention and money, and those people do exist, how does that make Thunderfoot the same? I'm just putting it out there. I'm just wondering, can you explain that for me?
Enter rape apologist and genocide advocate Dr. Philip E. Mason.
Wow, you're pulling out the big guns, Mr. Ape. Inter-rape apologist. Now, I know what rape is, but I don't know what inter-rape is. I mean, what do you mean? Was that just a word that you put in the script by accident? I don't know. I mean, I know of rape apologists and stuff like that, but I don't know what an inter-rape apologist means. Does that mean that he internalises something to do with rape and apologises for it? I don't know what you're referring to. And genocide advocate? Do you mean that interview he did with Ray Comfort where he couldn't answer a loaded hypothetical question about changing time and events in history which could possibly have negative or even positive benefits for mankind? A question that is not meant to be answerable and meant to show that atheists do not have morals. I mean, you know, this is creationists and Ray Comfort we're talking about here, Mr. Ape, and I'm sure you've done your research and you've watched the interview in question.
So I'm back in England where I've been for the past week or so because my dad's been very sick. And me, I've learned an absolutely astronomical amount about cancer.
Dr. Philip E. Mason returned from the Czech Republic to study cancer allegedly developing in a person he knows, whether it existed or not. You know, pretend illness, like pretend problems, and the pretend research that's meant to help us understand them.
Wait, so you're saying that Thunderfoot has gone all the way back from the Czech Republic, you know, away from his job with the company that he was working with, to spend time with a member of his family that you think doesn't exist, who's suffering from an illness that you think doesn't exist, to learn about an illness that you think doesn't exist for attention and money? Is that what you're implying here? Doesn't that seem really odd for a person to do? I mean, especially someone as well known and well regarded as Thunderfoot on YouTube. Whether he or not you like him or not, he is well received amongst many people on YouTube, and they do hold him in high regard, and he's shown nothing in his history of doing crazy shit like that, only in a warped and fantastical mind such as a social justice warrior. I mean, I'm not saying it's you, but I'm implying it's you, but at the same time I'm not insinuating that it's you, but you can see what I'm getting at. You know, I'm not saying you're saying that he's lying through his teeth for money and attention, but that seems to be what you're doing, and that's what people like you do, and that's not what Thunderfoot is doing, but just a shitlord. Don't mind me.
Hey everybody, Jordan42 here.
Oh shit. Hi Jordan.
And this is Davis Arini.
Davis?
We are here to announce our new feature film documentary, The Sarkeesian Effect, Inside the World of Social Justice Warriors.
The truth is far darker than you might imagine, but it's out there.
Okay, Bewildered Ape. Are you trying to say that these two guys are conspiratorial nut jobs? But what I really want to know is, what have Jordan Owen and Davis Arini and the Sarkeesian Effect got to do about lying with cancer? Please, please enlighten me, because I'm struggling to connect A to B to C to D to E to X. I don't know. Please, explain it to my peeny brain, please.
Dr. Mason says he has spent time researching his dad's cancer, but all he has done is talk about researching cancer and throw in a few assertions about his dad.
That doesn't mean he's lying. And no, he's not asserting about his dad. You're the one who's asserting. Stop projecting here, Ape. You're supposed to be explaining to me what those two just had to do with this. I mean, I don't get it. Was that a punchline to a joke? I mean, I know chimpanzee brains and human brains aren't the same, even though there's a 98% genetic similarity between the two species, but what I really want to know is, what has that got to do with everything? And how does Thunderfoot talking about stuff like cancer and his dad got to do with lying? How do you know he's lying? I mean, you're just going out there and saying he's lying with no basis, no evidence. But I'm sure the evidence will come. I'm sure, you know, you'll give it us, because you like to have good, credible sources, as Jenny McDermott says. You know, you like Fox News, fair and balanced.
I've learned an awful lot about cancer, And probably the most important thing is that you've got to get it early. The just hoping it's not going to happen, or the wishful thinking, or praying, or whatever. If that's going to be your way of dealing with this sort of thing, wasn't with my dad, but... wasn't with my dad, but... wasn't with my dad, but...
So what was the relevance to slowing down his words when he says it wasn't the case with my dad? He was talking about when you think you may have cancer, or you found a lump, or there's some kind of symptom wrong with you. It's better not to pray and in hope that it's not the case. It's better to go to the doctors, get it checked out, and hope if it is, hope that it isn't cancer and that it can be easily treated. And if it is cancer, it's curable. You've got it early enough that the treatment is pretty straightforward, and you will be in remission very soon after. And what he's saying is that his dad didn't pray and hope that no cancer was around. He obviously took the correct approach, just to go to the doctors when he felt something go wrong, because not everyone gets it early, not everyone sees whatever was wrong with them and immediately assumes it's cancer, or they think, oh, it'll go away. Maybe he genuinely didn't know what it was, and then by the time he got to the doctors, it was too late for him. That doesn't say anything about Thunderfoot lying. There is no hidden meaning in those words. Okay, it's all out there in an honest fashion. I don't know how you can even remotely assert, see what I did there, that is the case.
If it is, then you're going to end up in pretty bad shape.
And when you have a story fitting your scientific interests, well, why should Dr. Mason care whether it's true or not his dad has cancer? And boy, did his subscribers lap it up. However, it turns out that every statement that could be checked on Dr. Mason's video turned out to be bullshit.
Oh how did it turn out to be bullshit, Bewildered Ape? Please tell me, I want to know why this is bullshit. Have you got any evidence for this? I think you will. I mean, just because he talks about his dad don't mean he don't care, doesn't mean he's lying, but I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
In the free market of ideas, facts really aren't that important.
Maybe in social justice la la land the facts aren't important, but when it comes to people like Thunderfoot, who is a doctor, who's a scientist, the facts are important, mate. Sorry. Still, no evidence at all that he's lying. It's just all conjecture right now. I mean, for all I know, you could be the one lying.
As shown with the outpouring of support on Dr. Mason's YouTube channel in this amazing display of gullibility.
So, supporting someone whose father is dying of cancer and is obviously in a rough time is apparently an amazing display of gullibility. Right, okay. And that's only if you're a crazy SJW fantasist who thinks that everything Thunderfoot says is a lie, I mean, to everyone else, I mean, this is true. This is something that you do to help people. It's human nature to want to help someone and feel empathy. But not if you're a sociopathic fantasist who also happens to be a social justice warrior. Just putting that out there, Bewildered Ape.
Let me just give you a personal example. If you had a fancy drug that halved your chances of dying from cancer. Let me just give you a kind of personal example. Let's just say you've got something growing in your liver.
What the hell? So Dr. Mason's great pretend family illness and pretend research is also pretending that it's something personal his audience can relate to by appealing to the emotion of hypothetical situations.
Now listen here, you damn... No, don't go for a Planet of the Apes joke, Mitch. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now listen here, Bewildered Ape. Listen here, young man. There's nothing hypothetical about what Thunderfoot is saying. apart from the miracle cure, which is hypothetical, but his dad is suffering from cancer, and yes, he's probably doing this video for people who are either suffering from cancer or whose parents are suffering from cancer, because, you know, it's what people do. They connect with each other. He's obviously thought, you know what, I need to do a video about this, get it off my conscience, to deal with the pain, to deal with the suffering, and to perhaps raise awareness and to educate people. There's nothing hypothetical about the situation that he is in other than in the video where he's talking about a miracle cure. You're trying to twist his words, and it ain't working, because people can just go to the video and watch it for themselves. But you see, social justice warriors, the problem with you guys is, in the free market and exchange of ideas, facts don't matter.
Let me just give you a personal example. If you had a fancy drug that halved your chances of dying from cancer, let me just give you a kind of personal example. Let's just say you've got something growing in your liver.
There is no mention of an actual example, like his father's cancer.
You do realise, in this hypothetical scenario, when you talk about a miracle cure, he doesn't have to use his dad's cancer in order to make it somehow, to you, a fantasist, realise that it's real. He doesn't have to use his dad's cancer. He doesn't even have to say what type of cancer it is. And as far as I'm aware, the scans are out there in the public domain via Thunderfoot, and I think those scans in that video were his dad's cancer. I think. 99% sure about that. How does that make him lie? How does that even remotely suggest that he's lying? I don't know. Like I said, I can't connect A, B, C, D, E to X, because you're not giving me the links. Is this all open for interpretation? You know, apparently this was satire. Jenna McDermott told me that this is satire, but right now I'm not really seeing anything funny. There's no punchline, there's no joke. I mean, I guess if you think that putting in some footage about Richard Dawkins and Jordan Owen and David Sorini, apparently that's funny to you. Apparently that's a joke. But it's not a joke. It's just footage that's been put in there randomly by a guy pretending to be a chimpanzee. Although I'm struggling to even see the difference between you and chimpanzees. It's all, you seem almost melding together as one.
Because his father's cancer doesn't really exist.
And of course, you know, he has evidence to this. I mean, come on, anyone saying that somebody's dad dying of cancer is a lie, the burden of proof isn't on them. The burden of proof is on the person who is the liar, rather than the guy who's accusing the person of being a liar. I mean, we all know that in a debate with a feminist and social justice warrior, they don't need to give us the evidence. We just have to provide the evidence that proves their point as well as our point. Because, you know, the burden of proof, that's problematic, you know.
And in proposing hypotheticals, that somehow means his dad has cancer.
No, that was not the point of the video. Did you even watch it? You must have watched it. The footage is in your fucking video, right? I mean, Jesus Christ, you damn dirty... No. Can't say it. Can't say it, Mitch. Don't say it. I can't say it. The hypothetical is about the drug. And not about his dad. That proves or disproves nothing. That was not the point of the video.
What planet is this munchkin from?
Weeball. Nah. He's from the planet Earth, mate. He's from the planet Earth.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Pretending to be knowledgeable because you read the entire library of cancer research literature in 3 weeks, you can now pretend you've done the research.
I'm sorry, but how do you know that he researched all of cancer in 3 weeks and now he's pretending to be an expert? He's not pretending to be an expert. He has read up a lot about cancer. He's not said he knows everything. He just says he knows a lot more than he does now. And He's not pretending to be an expert. He's just sharing his knowledge with us that he knows about cancer. He's not saying he knows everything. What is it with you social justice warriors? You always try to say that people like Thunderfoot, people like The Amazing Atheist, me, Oz, Skeptor, Sargon of Akkad. You always accuse us of pretending to be experts in our fields or other fields that we don't know anything about. We never claim to be experts. We don't claim to be experts. We just share our knowledge that we've learned with you. We don't pretend. That's disingenuous. But think this is all projection, because this is you thinking you know an awful lot about what Thunderfoot talks about. You think you're the expert here. Otherwise, why would you be calling him a liar when there is no basis of that? You're still not giving me any evidence, and I've still also not seen any evidence that this is a satire. I mean, where's your joke? I mean, do you think having a sarcastic delivery automatically makes you a comedian? I mean, it certainly makes you look like a joke, but I don't know, you know, I mean, I'm just a shitlord.
And me, I've learned an absolutely astronomical amount about cancer over the past few weeks.
You know, it's like creationist research. You start with a piece of fiction, then bombard your audience with scientific sounding information.
What? How? He just said he learned a lot. He's not creating some kind of creationist argument. What? Is this meant to be the satire? That are you trying to say that Thunderfoot is no different to the creationists? No, the only people that are similar is you. You're the one who's basically doing what that cartoon says. You're the one who's got all the baseless nonsense and dressing up a scientific fact. Why else would you accuse him of lying? These are your own fantasies in your head. Or you're just trying to troll him and me. But I think you're too stupid for that.
And look for emotional hooks to reinforce your original suggestion, including use of hypothetical situations the audience can pretend they are experiencing. You know, like pretend problems, and the pretend research that's meant to help us understand them.
You keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means. Pretend. I don't think you know what it means. I don't think you know what you're on about, sir. Damn dirty.
Hey everybody, Jordan 42 here.
Jordan Senpai!
And this is Davis Arini.
Davis, you rogue.
We are here to announce our new feature film documentary, The Sarkeesian Effect, Inside the World of Social Justice Warriors.
Yes, we just established that a couple of minutes ago in a video. I mean, I'm sure this is some kind of punchline to a joke, is it? I mean, I just don't know. I mean, it doesn't make sense. You just appeared in this video randomly, and I'm pleased to see you and all, guys, but this is all a bit strange.
The truth is far darker than you might imagine, but it's out there.
And in order to fix something, first all you must do is convince people that it exists. And honestly, so far Dr. Mason's best efforts highlight why we shouldn't believe this e-begging scientist.
So what you're saying is that because Thunderfoot has crowdsourcing a Patreon account, therefore he's a liar. He's using this so-called lie about his dad having cancer to make money for himself. To basically do what Anita Sarkeesian, Brianna Wu, Zoe Quinn, pretty much everyone on your side, you know, as soon as they have their feels hurt, they need to get some of that Patreon money. Listen here, you damn dirty... Don't... Please say that, Chris. Don't say it. Okay, relax. Just because that you think he's lied, you therefore now think he's making money for his Patreon just because he has a Patreon account. No, that's stupid. Doesn't make any sense. You have no evidence for this. He's never said or even asked for money. He didn't ask for anyone to pay into his Patreon account for any reason, and he never mentioned his dad either. I've watched those videos. He didn't say, donate to my Patreon please, because I need it because my dad's got cancer. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. You're lying. You're the one who's lying.
Previously, I thought Dr. Mason was just incredibly dishonest. As it turns out, I now know, damn, was I giving the benefit of the doubt. His level of dishonesty beggars belief.
And your level of projection astounds me, Bewildered Ape. Really does.
It beggars belief on the scale of pretending that his dad has cancer, so that he can claim he's a victim of nature. That's the level of dishonesty that we're talking about.
Wow, I mean, talk about the hypocrisy and the fact that that's everything that your side always does, right? He's not once claimed that he's a victim. He's never once tried to use his dad to make money. He's not done that. You've not shown me any evidence that he does. All you've shown us is that he's got a Patreon account. You've given us cameos of Jordan Owen and David Salrini for whatever reason. But at the end of it, you've proven nothing. You've not proven any dishonesty on his part, except for a strange fantasy in your head. That's what a normal person sees. Or the only other person or thing that could even possibly imagine this is either a social justice warrior or another chimpanzee.
Dr. Mason's fictional narrative is meant to convince us his dad has cancer. So what's the evidence for this, I hear you ask? That is black and white as it comes. But we'll come to that in a moment.
Boo!
The sad thing here is how many people he's duped. He was given all-round sympathy, including from his ideological opponents. That's right, you were taken in hook, line and sinker, along with many others, into believing something that is simply bullshit.
No, nobody was duped by anything. You duped yourself. If you seriously think that Thunderfoot is lying about this, I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, you know what? You keep making fun of his comment section and everyone else who has commented on it, but I guess yours is squeaky clean and not full of people who've been duped hook, line and sinker by your crazy fantasies, Mr. Ape. Oh. I'm still waiting for that evidence. Come on. I'm waiting. This is not satire, you damn dirty ape. I've been watching this video about you wobbling off, going about Thunderfoot, apparently lying about his dad's cancer. You've given us no evidence. The only thing we have to trust on is your fantasy and your word on it. And also the fact that he has a Patreon account. And apparently what constitutes a satire and jokes is the random inclusion of David Salrini and Jordan Owen doing the Sarkeesian effect trailer and a sarcastic tone in your voice, which by the way is so monotone and dreary you wouldn't even know the sarcasm there. But the thing is, there's hardly any of it. It's all serious. You seriously believe that his dad either doesn't exist or doesn't have cancer. This is not satire. This is a cruel joke. In fact, it's not a joke. It's a horrible, abhorrent piece of work done by a damn dirty ape. That's it, I said it. Damn dirty ape. There's the joke. There's a joke for you. Damn dirty ape. That's a joke. Yeah, I used it. I tried to refrain, but I didn't. You bloody SJWs, you disappoint me. Alright, so that's the end of my video against Bewildered Ape. Just a load of dribble, that's all it was. You know, I mean, a chimpanzee, a real one, could actually have done better than this. You know? And so, this has been ChammyMan93. Like and share my video. Drop a comment, subscribe to my channel. And until next time,